evening, viewers, and welcome to yet another episode with me. My name is China Samba, and you are with us here in Clevenard TV. I want to thank you all who have joined us. If you're trying to join in, please go to www.clevenard.com/TV. I've got a special guest today with me. I'm just going to, do you know what? I'm going to let her talk about herself. I'm not going to tell you too much, but she's one of the migrants. And let's keep in mind, our topic today is if we Africans can still smile in diaspora. So she's got a lot to tell us, and it's going to be a conversation. It's not a question and answer, guys. So stick around, and please welcome with me, Yemi Adenuga. Hello, my dear.
Hello. How are you, Chinasa?
I'm all right. And yourself?
I'm fantastic. It's great to be here. Finally.
I was just going to say thank you so much for taking the time to be here with me.
It's a pleasure.
And sometimes I'm always worried. Are they going to join me? Are they not?
No, I mean, like even just coming on the show, I think it would be a pleasure to sit with you. Your smile is infectious. So it would be a fantastic time to be with you.
Oh, I'm blushing. Oh, don't make me shy so we can get this rolling.
You shy? I don't think so.
It comes around sometimes, my dear. So how have you been? How are you generally? You okay?
I'm very good. It's been crazy busy. Going towards the holidays, end of the school term, trying to get everything ready for the holidays and trying to finish as much work as possible before I finally say I'm taking a break, and I hope I get to do that. So you can imagine it is incredibly busy, but it's very productive, and I'm delighted about that.
I can imagine that. I mean, a mother of four, and having to keep up with all other tasks that you need to go through. Yes, but we are women, and
we are. We're wired to multitask and to do it well.
Yes, definitely. Yes. Otherwise, it's not done. Can I call you Yemi?
Of course, please.
Thank you. I'm delighted. Please, thank you so much. So, Yemi, would you like to tell us a bit about yourself?
Okay, that's the part that usually gets me. Like, what can I say about myself? I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a mentor, I'm a councillor, an elected public representative in the Republic of Ireland. I'm a people development strategist. I build people. My passion is people, specifically women and young people. My passion for people stems from my background, and I'm very focused on the reason why I am passionate about people. And that's always been my sustainability. That's always been the motivation behind everything that I do. And everything I do is geared towards building people. I have a in broadcasting. I worked first in broadcasting on radio with Ogun State Broadcasting Corporation as one of the founders of frequency modulation. And then I moved on to work with Ray Power 100 FM, owned by Dar Communications. And I was in the history of private radio broadcasting in Nigeria. I was the first female voice to go on air. And then I started to work for television and produced the very first program that was aired in the history of private television broadcasting in Nigeria. And I also presented and co-produced a talk show, which was a multi-award winning talk show, Sharing with Yemi, in Nigeria at the time as well. I was a newscaster, a scriptwriter, producer, director, the works, because that's how we were trained to know how to do everything.
You know what? I wish I do know any of those, but I'm sure I'm going to get back to that because I think I must have been in Germany. I left quite early, and I'm so, oh my God, that's a whole lot. So you're from the entertainment world. You're from a background that has a lot to tell us. And I was meant to understand you're married to an actor as well.
Yes, I'm married to one of Nigeria's A-list actors, Yemi Adenuga. Yes, he is an amazing, incredibly fantastic actor. One of the industries, as you will say now. I wish you could see him because he's got these beards, and we call him the wise.
I'm gonna look out
We
for
call him
him.
the wise one. Because he's full of wisdom, and you know, he's one of those people who's blessed with the gift of wisdom, and he knows how to dispense them well. So we're incredibly proud of him. As a wife, I'm proud of him, his children. I'm very
I'm sure you are
as well. Yes,
I'm sure you are. Yemi, I'm too overwhelmed. I'm so excited. What was one of the hierarchy of needs that motivated you to leave Nigeria, or would I say contributed to you leaving Nigeria?
Okay. For me, it was basically my children were at the back of my mind. The back of my mind. It was a big desire to have a better future for my children. I wanted my kids to look back and know that myself and their father gave them an opportunity and gave them something that we couldn't have, that we desired, that we wanted, but couldn't have, which was a better life. And what that meant for us at the time was leaving certainty for uncertainty. It meant people thought I was crazy because at the time I left Nigeria, I was at the peak of my career in broadcasting, and people thought I was just mad. And how can you leave that? But Nigeria was also unsafe at the time. And it's not like anything has really changed. As a matter of fact, it's even gotten worse than before I left. I mean, you feel constantly afraid for your life and for your family. I had several times when I was a target. Not many people knew that. There were things that I never talked about. I was too afraid to talk about them. But I just wanted my kids to have a better opportunity.
So we're talking about safety need and self-realization.
Absolutely.
And well, meeting up the needs for your children. So it wasn't much about yourself. So you
no. Yes, it wasn't about myself, actually. If it was me, I will still be in Nigeria. Because the opportunities were there. It was a time when, you know, I was thriving so much and I was doing incredibly well in my line of work. And like I said before, people thought I was just mad to have left at that time. But if I didn't leave, I probably wouldn't have left. It was a hard, very, very hard decision to make, but it needed to be made.
Yeah. So from what I understand now, it's like you're saying that, well, everyone can smile everywhere, not just in diaspora. That's
yes, what you can actually smile anywhere. I mean, I've seen people who have been in diaspora and have gone back home, wherever home is. It could be Nigeria, it could be South Africa, it could be Kenya, wherever. I've seen people who have gone back home because they found that there was something there for them. I have met people even in Ireland where I live who were here before and are doing incredibly well. People lived in the UK. I know people who lived in the UK and went back to Nigeria.
Yes.
And I know people who got out of Nigeria and no sooner had they left than things just kind of like skyrocketed for them in terms of success. So you can smile anywhere, but there are some factors you have to put into consideration. There are certain things that you need to do to smile. Automatic. You know, you have to strategize to be able to smile consistently, and to sustain that smile, you still have to be able to ensure that your goal, which is centered around perhaps something, that goal is the center of every work that you do. Plus, you have to know why you left. You have to be clear on why you're leaving home, leaving your country of origin to travel and be a diasporan, or why you're leaving diaspora and returning home. If you're not sure of why, then you're going to get it completely wrong. There are a lot of people who go back because people are going back, and they don't understand why those people are going back. There are a lot of people who left, let's say Nigeria, for example, people who left Nigeria because, Nigeria, everybody's leaving, and in order to make it, you have to go abroad. Well, in this age and time, it was okay to do that way back then. Things were a lot easier then. But if you do that today, my goodness, you're gambling with your life. The grass is not always green on the other side. It's only when you get there, though, that you will know. And people don't understand that. So when I got to diaspora, I had to stop, not even pause. It wasn't a pause. It was a complete stop. I had to completely stop and come to the reality that this is a new life. This means that I have to start completely all over again. This is not Nigeria, where when I got to the airport, everyone knew me. You know, when I walked on the street, everyone knew me. And
how easy was it for you to integrate? I mean, you're coming from a total different culture and background.
It wasn't easy.
Mentality-wise, we are quite different from, I guess, Ireland and the UK, and as well as other European countries. How easy and how challenging was it for you and your family, especially your children?
Okay, it wasn't easy to integrate. However, it was doable. And I'll tell you why it was doable, how it became doable. The first thing was I made up my mind. The minute I knew I was going to leave in Ireland, I decided this is now home. So I wasn't sojourning. There are a lot of people who have lived in diaspora for years, even longer than I've lived in Ireland for 22 years. Now they've lived abroad for myself and are still not integrated, and they're still not in their minds settled. That's the word I'm looking for. They're still not settled.
Yes.
The reason is because they're just passing through that country. They've not allowed the country to pass through them. So they're not learning anything about the culture of that country. They're not meeting the people. They're not asking questions. They're not interested in the things that are happening in their community. So I suppose those were some of the things that helped me to integrate. I asked a lot of questions. I wanted to.
The advice you would give to people or individuals who are thinking about relocating to, I want to use the word relocating to Europe, because we often do want to go back for whatever reason. So is that the advice you would want to give to people who wants to come over here?
Yes, wherever it is that you're going, right? For however long you're going to be there, for that period of time, that's going to be your home. And so if that's going to be your home, then you want to enjoy the full benefit of having that space as home. And there's a lot that is around you, and if you don't tap into it, you're not going to enjoy it. So meet the people. If they're not meeting you, meet them. One of the ways that I got to meet a lot of people was I shared my culture. I was proud of it, and I talked about it. I would dress up in, like nice African prints and share with people what that meant for me. I wasn't ashamed of it. I would share jollof rice. I'm telling you, my husband is.
I love that.
He would say hello to anybody.
I love that.
Even when we had the neighbor from hell, he would engage with them. We would make puff and have barbecue at the back of the house and invite the neighbors, and tell them about that's how you get to meet people.
Exactly. Integrate.
Yes. And once you're sharing your culture, then they would be happy to share theirs as well. That way, you get to know a lot more about the space you're living in, the place, the people. And then you feel like you have a network of people who genuinely care about you because you've built that network. You've worked for it. You don't want to just cluster around your own kind all of time. If that's what you want, then you might just as well go back to your country, because they're there already anyway.
Exactly.
But how can you be in a space where you don't have friends from that culture who are your friends, And that's what I said earlier on about people just pass through the country. They're not allowing the country they're living in as diasporans to pass through them.
What would you say about equality?
Okay, where I live in Ireland, I mean, when you talk about the issues of equality is spread across different spectrums. There's equality amongst women, or disability, or all of the protected
of life and rights.
Exactly. So there are a lot of migrants who feel that they don't have that sense of equality because there's a lot of discrimination and there's a lot of racism. And, Ireland is not exempt from that. However, one of the great thing about Ireland is that it's hard with various integration strategies. They don't have all the answers, and they're honest with the answers, and they look for engagement from migrants themselves all the time. And they're working really hard to make that happen. Now, there are, of course, some handful of people who will, no matter what you say, will consistently be racist because their mindset is built on being racist.
Yeah.
However, we also have a responsibility as migrants in a country to contribute to the solution. How do we make the country a better place for us to live in and have that sense of belonging? I'm doing a lot of work in that regard here in my community. I'm working.
I was gonna ask you a bit about that. I mean, how did you? Well, is it out of this situation that you came to conclusion? Because I read somewhere where you had said you were jobless for a long while, and that wasn't because you were not a good actor or you didn't know what you were doing. I think the inclusiveness was just another part of it that wasn't happening right for you. How I mean, you took it to an extent, and you eventually got yourself into a series, TV series. Series, yeah, something,
okay.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that I was jobless. It was just that I did what I wanted to do. I wasn't there yet at the time. So I'd left my job. I was working with IBM at the time as a cost accountant, and I'd left the work. I took the redundancy and left. And I had the desire to start my own company, start my own business with my husband. So during that lull, when you start a new business, you're trying to help it take off, and there's a lot of struggle and all that.
Yes.
So it was during that time that I was trying to come to some kind of self-realization and redefine myself, and what do I want to do? Who do I want to be in this country? What do I want to do? What do I want for my children? I have 4 kids. I've got 2 daughters who are 29 and 21. I've got 2 boys who are 14 and 13. And I desire for them to feel like this is home. They have the whole dual nationality. And I always tell them, you have the best of both worlds. Don't let anybody tell you that you're neither Nigerian nor Irish. You are both.
Yeah.
And you have somebody from Nigeria they don't have that dual nationality. And you have what somebody from Ireland doesn't have. They don't have the dual nationality. So embrace the best of both and be part of those who create this new sense of Black Irishness. What does it mean? It's never happened before. This is the first time we're having that terminology, Black Irishness. What does it mean? It's a new birding space that we have to work on and create our own style, our own, accent. Listen to the Black Americans, the way they from the white Americans. Listen to the white British. It's different from the way the white British.
Do you think that there's a need for a Black person to sound like an English person?
No, I think a Black person should sound like a Black person who lives in England.
Very well said. So you thought a lot about racism. I mean, when they took you into office, I think it was the first emergency call you made.
Yes, there's a lot of work that I'm doing in that regard. Thankfully, we have an amazing Minister for Justice who also has the desire to ensure that migrants have a sense of belonging and are treated, have that equality. I always say, however, that there's no equality without equity. They work hand in hand. Equality on its own is not effective. Equity gives you the chance then to give those who need a little leverage, to give them that platform to be able to step up, to meet those who already have more than they do. For me, that's how equality works. It works with equity. And we're having a lot of that now.
Exactly.
A lot of that now in Ireland. And there's so many opportunities. There are opportunities here for people. And in diaspora, there are opportunities for diasporans. One of the mistakes we probably make is that we don't take them because we're too afraid. We feel that nobody will take us seriously. Nobody will respect us. However, the communities we're in, they are waiting for us to bring the values that we brought from Africa. We haven't brought enough of those. You know, I'm a value-led
Is that
woman, and I brought that to my.
so? Is it? Yeah, me. Is it like we contribute to our own demise?
I wouldn't say that. I don't want to say that we contribute to our demise. I'll just say that we are one-minded in our thinking. We are not allowing
Okay.
ourselves to be open-minded enough to see possible. I always say three things about opportunities to my students. I'm director of programs for Institute of People Development. And when I speak with my mentees in my mentorship program as well, or in the institute, I always say, opportunity, first of all, you have to recognize it. When we were growing up, and I'm sure you probably know this yourself, we were told that opportunity comes but once. That's a lie from the pit.
That's a
It's a big
lie.
lie. You to
We both agree on that. That's a big lie.
thing here is an opportunity. So if we recognize that every single day brings a new opportunity and every minute brings a new opportunity, then we will open our eyes to what is available there. The second thing about opportunity is that we must take it. It's not enough to recognize it. When it comes, we take
Push
it.
it.
We may not have the everything we're asked, but we take
We're
it.
allowed to make mistakes, aren't we?
Exactly. The answer, go and Google it and come back then and deal with the issue, right?
That's it.
Honestly. And then the
Your
third thing, if I just
mentees.
finish that, the third
Yeah,
thing is when you take it, you must use it well. If you
exactly.
don't use it well, you shut the door for people who hate you because there's an expectation. When I became a councillor in the Republic of Ireland, the first Black woman to be elected in the history of politics
Yes, you
in
are.
Ireland, I had this pace setter burden full of everything that I did because
Yeah,
people are watching. I'm a role model for a lot of people. And
definitely.
so I have to use the position well. In doing that, and I've created a space for lots of migrants to get interested in politics. And at the next local elections, there will be more people who will run in the elections.
I'm hopefully, I'm hoping so because we should have more people. So we would have people like you mentoring our youth and our women. So coming to your mentees, how do you encourage them away from being an academia or becoming one of them? Is there any other profession? Is there any other kind of growth, any other kind of development you would advise them to? Sorry about that. You would advise them to venture into.
So the mentorship program, the Yemi Adenuga mentorship program, we call it the YAML program, has been running for 25 years. And over the last 25 years, at this rate, we have over 20,000 people have gone through that program. And one key thing that has been consistent is that it is a holistic mentorship program. It's transformational. So the idea is not just for you to focus on one thing. The idea is for you to be a better person, whether at work, whether in relationship, whether in parenting, whatever aspect of life that you're struggling with.
Yes.
The idea is for you to be a better person. When you are a good person, it will impact every area of your life. The thing that my mentees must have is values. Values.
Yep.
Like I said earlier on, I'm a value-led leader, and I always imbibe this. I have many values, but I'm led by 5 core values. These are my family values as well. We call them the Creed L. C is for consistency. Everything I do them well and over again. And that's why I'm an expert at the things that I do. R is for respect for myself and for others. Whether that's their cup of tea is not my business. But my value teaches me to always give respect. I get a lot of nonsense from people, but because of my value, I always give respect back. I is for integrity. Anything that would tarnish my name, I don't touch it, no matter how enticing it is. D is for do unto others as you have them do unto you.
Unto you.
L is for love. Love for myself, love for God, love for others, love for my family.
Talking about love for God, do you think I want to know your opinion on Africans and religion.
Yes.
Do you? I personally think sometimes the religious aspect of our lives gets in our ways. Do you
Well,
feel the same?
Well, I think people are a lot of times overtly religious. Jesus wasn't religious. He was just a person who lived a good life, you
Gotcha.
know? And as I'm a Christian, and I never had been a Christian. In fact, when I remember when I first won the election, and I was very thankful to God. Some people pulled me back and called me out on social media, on Twitter, and said, hang on a minute, you're supposed to be an Irish politician. Don't you know that we don't talk about God in politics in Ireland? And I said, okay, wait a minute. I think you don't know what you're getting. Sitting pretty. My fathers and their great, great, great grandfathers before them were sitting in Africa, worshiping their gods. And you guys,
And you came with your Bible.
with your God.
And now you don't want us to talk
You
about
don't want
it.
us to talk about it? My darlings, I am the dividend of your investment in Africa. You will take me. And for me, that's how I deal with it. But I'm not religious. I am a Christian. I'm a
Yes.
child of God. I believe in God. And I don't do religion because religion has put us in a bond. Religion has caused people to design doctrines that keep people in bondage. And that's not what Christ wanted for us.
And give respect to those who do not
Absolutely.
in any way deserve it.
So I think that being
Yeah, I wanna go on and on and on and on and on. I want to officially ask if I could invite you again in future. Unfortunately, our time is just running like the.
It seems like we're only speaking for 5 minutes.
I am telling you, we just can't get to. Oh my goodness! So I want to ask you one question, really. That is so. Yeah, it's bothering me. The rate we especially I want to take Nigeria. We are both Nigerians, despite our ethnic disagreements we have we have all over Nigeria. The rate the youths and everyone else is trying to leave Nigeria, come to Europe. I would say it's a psychological kind of level of need, yes, but above that, is there anything you would want to advise people on who are aspiring to relocate to Europe? I've spoken to a few. Some are, a few of them are academics. Few of them are handicrafted people. So they've got serious handwork. But I noticed something as well, but that's not the question anyway. Most of them are overly packed up with a whole lot of PhDs and I am asking myself, because I know a lot of us here, a lot of people in Europe has got PhDs and they don't have a job. Now, is there any way you want to advise them on what else they could do to be able to survive and keep up the smile in diaspora?
Okay, can I tell you something? I've always been a firm believer that every skill, every talent, every gifting a person has is a potential income earner. If you do not identify your skills or your talents or your gifting, and only on your academics, your academic qualification is a recipe for disaster. So I enjoy every single one of them. My skills are always put to good use. And does that mean that I am not educated? No, it just means I'm a smart woman. I'm a smart, incredibly smart woman. And that's what people need to recognize. I will advise people, we have a blessing in Nigeria, a big gift in Nigeria, which is that you have the chance to learn a skill or learn a trade.
Yes.
In times past, we used to be ashamed of it. Me, be a tailor. No, me, be a baker. No, I have to be in a room working white collar job. Who white collar job help? My sister. Who?
Thank you. Ask me. Now, would you want to say, because I'm so sorry, we'll have to round up somewhere. Would you advise people, because I have this feeling that a lot of them have a problem becoming a mechanic, and these people earn a lot of money in Europe.
You know what? The handicrafters, the artisans are the people who rake in the money. The artisans make a lot of money. So If you are leaving Nigeria, don't venture to leave without a handiwork learned. Go and learn something. Yes, your academics and all that, they are great. Everything I've done here in Ireland, I've actually not, I think I've only used my certificate once. Everything else has been my skill and my gifting and my ability and my capability and my competence. It's really, when you come to Europe, you're giving an opportunity to be yourself. And sometimes they are fun of giftings. So go and learn a trade. Don't come empty-handed. And we're blessed with that kind of opportunity in Nigeria. Go and learn to be a mechanical.
Exactly. And that's the only way we can smile
We are
in
always looking
diaspora,
for
people.
tailors and hairdressers.
Yes.
Go and learn something.
Hairdressers, gele, even gele
Make
tires or whatever, anything you can do with your hand. And ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for this wonderful time with you all. As we have learned from here, we can all smile everywhere we are. Miss Adenuga agrees with me. I'm of same opinion. And never be ashamed of anything you do, right? There is nowhere that is better than anywhere. We've got our crisis back in Africa, in every part of Africa. Let me not just be fixed up on Nigeria. So please, if you have anyone trying to come to Europe, for us to keep up our smile anywhere we are, come up with something that you can offer, no matter what it is. We all make, as long as you're able to feed yourself and not becoming a beggar.
Absolutely.
Right?
So one thing, my sister, when if you're coming from Africa, you're traveling anywhere else in the world, please do not put mentality. Do not put it in the suitcase and travel with it. Leave it at the airport. You are not. You work hard. You earn whatever it is that you will earn. Leave entitlement mentality behind, please, and come and work hard. And the limit for you is beyond the sky.
Do you know who I am? I thank you so much, my dear, and hope to see you soon or have you soon
Definitely.
again. I hope in future we'll be able to sit together. This camera wahala self sometimes.
I know, right? Don't worry. You're in Germany, right? Don't worry. One day you'll just be shocked. You will just jump on the plane and come to Germany.
That one is a show banker. You take care of yourself.
Thanks
my love to everyone.
I will. God bless.
Thank you so very much for coming.
Thank you.
And have a wonderful evening, viewers. Thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. Take care.